Obviously, I'm a Yankees fan, so I'd love to see him.
It's almost like legacy of like the NFL versus.
But I definitely think that Baker could be a really good player for the Panthers moving forward.
Did I say Oreos?
There's a lot of questions I have about Mahomes. Looks like a kid playing Madden.
Turning point in the game is the 13-second drive.
They play very hard, even though they're terrible.
He's a good pick. You for sure. He's going to be a good player. But I can't argue against the Jamar Chase pick.
They made moves saying we're going to win this year, at least get into the playoffs.
I'm going with my guy, Corey Seager. So glad.
What's good, y'all? My name is Austin Jarman, and I play rugby for the University of Notre Dame. And you're listening to The Outsider's Opinion with Austin and Kevin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. Championship or bust a little bit later into the season, but at the start of the season, which team's seasons are defined by making the championship or not mattering at all? Like, that season stunk. We didn't make it to the championship. We've done this for a while. It's kind of our signature thing, and it's fun. And some years we struggle finding which teams, but not this year. We have 7 teams in total for this NBA list, and all I think are legit cases why this season is championship or bust. A lot is because of age, but a lot is because of the expectations that these teams set with their moves. So we'll just go right into it, Austin. I'll say Suns first. They had to issue an apology on Twitter because they didn't even like lose game 7 like off a game winning shot. They did not show up. Their big 3, terrible. I loved it though because the Mavs, I thought we were going to get swept. And then, you know what? Everybody act tough on the up. Luka plays incredible. And they had to issue, I can't stress it enough. They had to issue an apology to their fans. Sorry, we stunk. We didn't make it to the championship. And
Well, that was just to make it to the Western Conference Final.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. And Luka had more points than the entire team at half.
Yeah, I don't know what to say or comment on that, but the Suns are definitely. This is partially because of Chris Paul. We don't know what's going to happen with Ayton. They have a lot of questionable, and how long can you keep a team this good around? There really is a ticking time bomb here, and they need to act fast. There is a 13th seed though in the West. No, there's a 12 seed in the West, and
That's not looking good.
it's not looking good. And I think we can just quickly go over the Lakers, a team that's relatively in the same boat, a team that's made finals recently. At least they won. All the Suns lost. The Lakers have not been good this year. They're 13th, and you may be asking why are the Lakers championship or bust? They suck. LeBron may leave. LeBron is seriously threatening to leave because nothing is valuable to him except for winning a championship until obviously Bronny comes in the league and he wants to play with him. But if that's the case, the Lakers have to win, or LeBron will just straight up ask for a trade. So I don't see how the Lakers can survive much longer with LeBron if they don't start winning games and making moves and doing stuff. So Lakers are definitely championship or bust.
I agree. Mostly because of LeBron. And what happened? You're seeing it now. What do they have to build after? We'll talk about another team. There's nothing. Like, they destroyed their future for now. And it did pay off a few years ago. But really, AD's been injured. They traded a lot for AD. And look at the pieces they gave up and how well those pieces are doing now. And I still don't. Oh yeah, the piece that you have yet to know what happens to it is the lottery pick for Wembanyama, which
Could go to the Pelicans. Yep.
And yeah, I would almost think LeBron does leave the Lakers, and it's kind of a mutual thing. I think you could still get a lot for LeBron and kind of recoup some assets, and then LeBron goes to a better situation. But that's probably another discussion for another day. The other team I was talking about is also in LA, and it's the Clippers. They made the Western Conference Finals. It was against the Suns, but that was without Kawhi. But the year before, they struggled to beat the Nuggets and they lost when they'd put it all together. And that roster was so good, in my opinion. It was so deep, and they had great players. And they gave up a lot, too, for Paul George and Kawhi. And one of those pieces was Shea. Austin? Shea? Okay. And he's playing incredibly well, and they still have picks yet to give up. And I've heard they benched Reggie Jackson. Or did I miss that?
I don't think
they're trying to trade.
They may be trying to trade him. I don't think they benched him.
Okay. But they're looking to trade John Wall. It's just crazy how far this team has fallen. Kawhi's still working back from injury. And we talked about it then. Like, you have to win a championship. And they haven't even made a finals. They've struggled.
Yeah, and Kawhi had so much success with the Spurs, so much success with the Raptors, and now he's on his third team, and he isn't having the same success. And whether that you say that's because he's resting too much, or injuries, or Paul George isn't playing as much, or whatever the issue is, they got to figure it out. Because if they don't even make a finals with this team at some point, people are going to be looking at that Paul George trade to the Thunder. They gave him so many picks as a really, really, really bad trade.
Yeah. And they even got Doc Rivers fired because it didn't work out.
That is true.
So we've gone through 3 teams, and those were kind of pretty simple ones just because of what they've given up. 4th team, pretty similar. It's the Nets. The drama surrounding KD wanting to be traded, them trying to trade him, and getting Steve Nash fired, even though Steve Nash was brought in by Kyrie and KD. KD was like, he's the problem. Well, KD, you chose Nash, and it just stinks for Nash to be in that position because I don't think he was really given a lot. And they traded for Harden. And talk about pieces once again. Karis LeVert hasn't really done as well as I thought he would, but he was given up in that trade to the Pacers. Jared Allen, though, I think he's such a great center and defensively. And they had such a bright future. You had Spencer Dinwiddie, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, like I said. And now there's really not much left.
Yeah, they had D'Angelo Russell as well. And, seeing how their team is built, they've really given up on the future. They did make a good trade for, like, Royce O'Neal. They still have Nick Claxton. They have some good players, and they're going to have to survive this KD injury. But they've made way too many moves for them not to be championship or bust. And they still have yet to come through with that.
Yeah, and who's the coach they fired for Nash?
I don't think they fired a coach. I think Kenny Atkinson just left.
Okay. And was he with the Pelicans for a little bit, or?
Atkinson? No. Atkinson is a assistant on the Warriors.
Oh, was he the guy that dropped out of the Sacramento?
Yes.
Okay. I can remember. I was like, I'm trying to remember his name. So we're not sure what coach, how that coach could have turned out, but yeah, pretty easy. Now we have 3 more teams where they kind of have a few more years left, but that window is starting to close. We'll start with the Nuggets. Jokic is incredible. He's arguably one of the top players in the league, and they have, like, Aaron Gordon's playing well, and they just need those other guys, Jamal Murray and MPJ, to get better, and they also have Bones Highland. And whenever you have one of the best players in the league, you are almost championship or bust because they can take you that far when they're in their prime. What do you think, Austin?
Yeah, that's kind of how it will always be for every team LeBron is on. It will almost always be listed here, unless there's a plethora of injuries, because, you just have so much expectation surrounding your team. And the Nuggets, now that they're healthy, they're on this list, and this is really their first chance since the bubble to truly see if they can make it.
I agree. And now we go to the Celtics. And I'm just not sure how much longer this roster can stay together. It is such. There's so many great players. Jason Tatum, I think, is the star or quote unquote superstar, but Jalen Brown to me is such an incredible player. You also have Al Horford, who's getting up in age. You have Marcus Smart. They also made that trade for Malcolm Brogdon because that's what they were missing when they made the finals, but they lost to the Warriors. Am I forgetting anything else, Austin?
No, I don't believe so. But them getting Brogdon, them obviously they've had Al Horford back for now 2 seasons, but they just have such a good team. Uh, it's going to be hard to keep them together. Al Horford's getting older. Smart is getting older. I don't know how sustainable it is to keep everyone together.
Oh, I forgot. They have. Oh, Blake Griffin got injured. Or that's what's popping up when I
Yeah.
look up Celtics
Yeah.
roster. Oh, they also have Derek White. There's really, to me, not someone that you can like target or it's where like, man, they could upgrade here. To me, it's just such a well stacked roster.
Oh, 100%. And even after losing their head coach, they're still on this list because of how well they're playing with their new interim coach.
Yeah, and maybe he takes over. Don't know. But yeah. And then so our final team is the Bucks. Similar to why we have the Nuggets on this list. Giannis, de- I would say he's the number one player, but he's definitely in the conversation. And he's incredible. But how much longer are him and Drew Holiday going to be playing? And Chris Middleton is a huge part of that team, and he's dealing with injuries a lot. So not really sure how long it takes, but they have won a championship before. It's just can they add one more championship to their resume?
Yeah, and the main reason why I wanted to put him on this list is because of the age of guys like Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez, guys that are playing outstanding right now and are big reasons why they can survive with Giannis and Chris Middleton missing a lot of games, and even Drew's missed some games. But I don't know how long. Again, similar to the Celtics, how long you can keep this all together, and that's why you have to get as many championships now before it's too late.
Yeah, I agree. So, yeah, I believe that's our list. Some notable omissions, I think, like I was talking about best players in the NBA. The Mavs are not on this list. I just don't think they have supporting cast.
Yeah, the Sixers also aren't on this list. I think they're. I just still don't trust them fully yet, and I don't know if they're championship or bust. I think they're just long playoff run or bust. So
I agree. And then some young teams, Pelicans.
Pelicans, Grizzlies.
Oh yeah, Grizzlies too. And they're just too young. There's still a bright future. Like they still have a bunch of picks. Pelicans, like we said, could add Wembanyama to this list, to their roster.
I don't even want to think about that, but
yeah, we'll have to see. But that's a good list. Let us know what you think, and thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.